we have a roll call, please, Maria?
Chair DeBolt, absent. Vice Chair Lowe.
Here.
Commissioner Andre, absent. Commissioner Quilty.
Here.
Commissioner Gross.
Here.
Commissioner Sefalcanic.
Here.
And Commissioner Zelmer.
Here.
Yay. Thank you.
Okay, and for those who can stand, will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll go to oral communications. Do we have any oral communications tonight? Seeing, this is right, okay, I'm sorry. At this time, any individual in the audience may address the planning commission and speak on any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Please state if you'd wish to speak on an item on the agenda, please state if you wish to speak on an item on the agenda. Remarks are limited to more than 5 minutes. So if anyone wants to speak right now? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. And go to item A, to approve the minutes of the special meeting on May 25th, 2002. Do we have a motion to approve minutes, or anybody want to comment?
People, I have to abstain. I wasn't there.
So maybe we can continue this item?
Oh, wait, you
We
have.
have, yeah,
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot to.
he's over here. My buddy.
Okay, anyone want to make a motion on the minutes, or anybody want to just,
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Oh.
Go ahead.
we have a motion in 2 seconds? Do we need to, all those in favor, say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to item 5B. Findings required for AB 361 for the continued use of teleconferencing.
Excuse me, we have to do the 22nd meeting?
There's two.
Is there two of them there?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
for the
sorry.
consent calendar, we can just do, Yeah.
I believe the motion was for item A in its
And just-
entirety. So
Okay.
yeah.
We could pull them separately if you want. but I
No,
think-
No.
that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so we're good on that. So then we'll move to item B, findings required for the AB 361 for the continued use of teleconferencing meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. We have
I'll
a motion-
second it.
We have a motion and a second. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. So now we'll go to public hearing 6A. This is for the consideration of a resolution of recommendation to the city council for the adoption of the negative declaration pursuant to California Environmental CEQA Code for approval and draft comprehensive update of the city housing element for the reporting period 2021 to 2029. And this time I offer staff any comments.
Yes, good evening, Vice Chair Lowe and members of the Planning Commission. We as staff, we're going to ask for a continuance of tonight's meeting to our regular planning meeting, which is in a couple weeks. So we are not asking for a consideration of the resolution tonight. Tonight, we're just asking, as part of the outreach for our housing element, is to provide the opportunity for the public to come in to provide comments on the housing element. So that's what we're asking for tonight. And then at the very next meeting, again, approximately 2 weeks, at the regular planning meeting, we're going to ask for either a recommendation or a denial from the Planning Commission for the housing element.
Okay. Does any of the commissioners have any questions?
Question for council.
Sure.
Since we're continuing, can I still comment on what's been presented so far?
Yeah, so it will be, you can provide comments, and then we'll go ahead and open the public hearing in the event that any members of the public want to provide testimony as well. And then again, staff's request is that we continue this to a date certain.
Okay.
So the simple answer is yes, if you'd like to provide
Sounds
comments this evening.
I would. I'm doing this so when it's brought to us, we can have already focused on a couple areas that I'd like to have highlighted. It was a lot of 300 and some pages. It's a lot to digest, but a particular interest was around page 121, I think, in two specific things. It was generally, I would hope that we don't make a blanket density equation for the whole city. I would like to see if we could fashion and still meet our RENA numbers. We have greater density in certain areas that are better suited for it with the infrastructure such as transportation and shops and other community activities, making work-live housing, work-live uses. And some of these outlying areas, such as the Lamson property and other properties that don't have that kind of infrastructure or transportation, restaurants and things like that, have a lower density, and with the combination of the two types of densities, maybe meet arena numbers. Because it doesn't make sense to have a blanket density where we actually encourage stronger density around our retail and revenue-generating uses, and maybe don't want to have that heavier density around some of the other areas. That was my first area I'd like to highlight. And the other one was, I think it was section 6.1 or 6A of that chart around page 121. I don't have it in front of me, Tom. It's a lot. But it talked about this area here, Civic Center. And I think it's designated for some types of housing use, and I don't understand why we would want to do that. We got 60,000 cars a day going by here. I don't know why we'd want to have a housing overlay here. And further on that point, I've looked at this building, and it looks like there's a lot of deferred maintenance. A lot of these beams are compromised, and the facilities are probably 1960 vintage. Again, we got 60,000 revenue-generating units driving by here every day. I think it would be in the best interest of cities to move the city campus in some other location within the city, maybe a newer building, asbestos-free, air conditioning, better Wi-Fi, better parking, the whole bit, and offer this up to some developer who wants to bring in some revenue-generating uses here. I mean, this is kind of the gateway to Orange County, coming off the 605. So I think those deserve a little more attention, at least for discussion purposes. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any other commissioners at this time? So at this time, I'd like to open it up to the public to see if anybody would like to come forward and speak on this item in the public. Sure.
Good evening. So I attended one of the council meetings recently, and I had expressed some interest in finding out about the development of properties around Los Alamitos. And so, building on your previous point, is the city actively courting a large company such as Epson that could potentially, if this moved, are we actively courting a large company that could act as another attractive partner to make the city even more revitalized? That's my first question. My second question is dealing with the mixed use, retail, residential, outside of the area that's north of Catella. What other areas are being considered, if any? And then third, what about the issue, I'm not sure if it's been settled, about single-family areas potentially having these additional units to their homes? I've heard about that as a potential issue. I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to be a concern. And then the fourth item is about the low-income housing, which I think is supposed to be something that all cities around the state have to deal with. So those are my questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
And could you say your name, please?
Yes, my name is Mamie Wong. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of that's a lot of information. That's a lot of stuff that we're working on here at the city. So I'm not sure if staff had any comments on that or wanted to comment.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name, but I would welcome you to contact me, and I can answer all those questions. Yeah, it's a lot of questions, and it's something that will probably take longer than a 2-minute response. So I encourage you, and I can give you my card after the meeting, and you could contact me, and we can meet one-on-one, or I could talk to you on the phone or whatever. Okay?
Yeah, because I know that I look at the local paper, News Enterprise, to get information about these meetings, and I think this particular issue is a particularly important one that affects so many of us who live and work here.
Yeah.
That I was kind of surprised that this room didn't have more people. That's why I'm concerned. That's why I apologize for peppering you guys with all these
Yeah.
questions. But these are actually the things that I hear from neighbors that they are concerned. It's not just a quality of life issue, but that there will be a more inflow and outflow of vehicles, people that can affect the infrastructure, the state of our roads. They get more stress on them, and they may need to have service sooner because of that. So all these things are all connected. But that's the thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. I don't disagree with any of your statement. And again, I can go really in-depth, Tom and I, and like I said, it's going to take more than like a 2-minute answer. It'll probably take to answer all 4 of your questions, it's probably going to take me like 30 minutes to answer those questions. So that's why I said I could give you my card and we could sit one-on-one, or I could talk to you on the phone or whatnot, okay?
I'd like to make one comment, if that's okay, Chair.
Sure, go ahead.
So there is our housing element, a draft of it, what we are talking about, continuing to next meeting. That's on our website, and you can look that up, and that is also an answer to a lot of your questions. So that is there now. You can take a look at that.
Okay, because I would like to see more public engagement. I think a lot of these things, if people were more aware of the discussions going on, I think there would be more questions beyond the few that I have, because they've lived here longer, they're probably more aware of these issues, but they haven't had a chance. So I would like to have that kind of brought more to the fore, so that more people can come in and talk about that, because it's going to be throughout the city, different times of the year, over the course of, I suppose, several years, as this is going on, because the city is being slowly transformed, I think modernized a little bit, to have more revitalization, area by the post office, certainly north of Catella, and other parts. I'm sure there are ideas about that, but I think that it's important that people know about that. I don't know if they read the back of the newspaper like I do. That's the thing, and people certainly are not necessarily going onto the website to look at that. And it's the summertime, people are traveling, they don't know about this. I think that's part of the importance of getting the public input, is that accounting for people traveling more, they're on vacation more during the summer, they're with their families and others, makes more of an effort to try to keep in touch with these latest issues, but it does impact all of us over many, many years, for those of us who have lived here for a long time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And we would encourage the public to come. I mean, we want more people to come, like your neighbors and so forth, and talk about a lot of things. You hit around a lot of points. I mean, one of them I think was accessory dwelling units, which we've talked about a lot and so forth, and a lot of that's state mandated. So it isn't something that necessarily that we are approving or not approving. Sometimes we're just going along with state mandates. You know what I mean?
Right,
when it comes to.
But it is nice to know, for something like that as
Yep.
an example, what's the progress about that? Where, what area or areas in the city is that being considered? Stuff like that, so that we have an informed populace. That's That's what I'm trying to get at about
Yeah.
that, you know?
I think a great start is taking Ron up on his offer, you know what I mean, to come speak to him on some of those issues, just to get so you can get a broad range of those issues.
Yes, I'll get your card after the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Would anybody else like to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and I'll look for a motion to continue potentially.
I'll make a motion to continue.
And we have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to continue this to a date certain. What date are we looking at continuing this
That
to?
would be to continue the public hearing to the next regular
July
meeting of the
27th.
Planning Commission, which is July 27th.
Okay,
27th.
Yeah,
Yep.
Say July
So we're-
27th.
the motion would be to continue this meeting to the July 27th regular planning commission meeting. And we have a motion and we have a second. And all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. So that is continued. And move on to items from the Development Services Department.
I'm gonna let Tom start. You have anything, Tom?
Yes, we have packets that have come in, applications that have come in lately that we will be discussing it coming up. Like, for instance, Grading Pacific would like to expand their building. They came in before for a larger building, but they're going to come in with just an expansion of what they have right now. And we have also received part of the packet, but not a complete application for a project on Lamson. And so we will be receiving some more information about that in the future. The Chevron station is moving along very quickly. They should be done any day now. I mean, they're really flying. And however, the medical office building is still just at the foundation stage. And we have probably 3 items on the next Planning Commission meeting, in case you're wondering how that will be. So, yeah.
Thanks, Tom. I have nothing to add. Thank
Okay.
you.
I think we have, so I'll turn over to the commissioner reports. I think we have a little July 16th cleanup date. Is this Saturday?
The dumpster day.
Oh, the
Dumpster day,
large item disposal.
large item dumpster day, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that feature. I know we've done that in the
Happy to see
past. So that's something worth mentioning. And then,
Do we have the market this weekend too, on Pine Street, or not?
No, it's not a market. It's the last, this is the Recreation Department's concert. It's the last one on Pine Street. After this Thursday, they will move over to Parks.
That's gone very well too.
anything else from the commissioners?
I'm going to be on vacation for the next meeting, so I won't be here.
Okay.
Happy
With-
belated birthday.
Thank you.
With that, I will adjourn the meeting.